afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. It is the Coffee Company. Hello. And today we've got, is it a special guest? Because he's always here. But of course it's the special guest. It's my Achi himself, Mr. Dagul's in the house. Achi, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. It's a long day. I've made a lot of coffee today. I've been teaching coffee this morning, and now it's time for me to have a coffee. And of course,
You've been teaching coffee. You've actually been teaching the coffee itself.
Someone how to make coffee this morning.
There we go.
Wonderful customer. It was great. So great. We're into the realms of teaching now. Hopefully they enjoyed it. As much as I can do my best to show what I can do. We try our best, but it was a good time. We haven't really got a thing. Because I didn't want to steal the TottenhamOnTour pop-up show. I called this show Pop-Up Pup, which is obviously a K-pop reference, but it sort of works. I like that. But,
well, Ben, you can steal the pop-up as much as you want because you're part of TottenhamOnTour. So you have it.
I don't like. It's a TottenhamOnTour moniker. I think. But what can we talk about today? There's nothing happening. What's happening?
Nothing's really happening in the world, is it? I mean, there's obviously what we don't talk about on this channel. It's at least the weather's out today. At least it looks like. At least exactly compared to what it has been. Like I said, I'm completely convinced that I've jinxed the British summer.
Yeah,
it's because of me. But yeah, we shall see. Hopefully the weather stays like this. Let's have our fingers crossed that we at least have a good August.
Let's
hope and pray.
Yeah, I'm looking at the weather. I'm looking at the weather right now to see. Here we go. It's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to rain Saturday, but next week is going to be sunny.
Okay. So what's it saying Sunday? Most importantly, what's it saying Sunday?
Sunday is sunny.
Thank God.
19 degrees centigrade.
That's okay. That's
nice weather. Who would have thought?
Yep. Yep. Thank God.
I'm actually going on. We could talk holidays, Mr. Brian. We could talk holidays. What holidays we like going to? Where do we want to go in the future? I don't know if Nick wants to come on the show. I know he's spending a lot of time recently doing catfishing. So he might not have the time, but he's in the chat. But let's see who's in the chat. I do need to make myself a coffee. I need to make myself a coffee. We've got Mr. Lee Smith, who's the first one here today. Hello, Lee. Big up, Lee. Great to see you in here, buddy.
Big up, Lee.
Angie and Dagul. We've got Nick saying press conference cancelled due to lack of interest from the media. Well, I'm sorry, Nick. No bloody football. No football. Now he's saying weather is bad. Hashtag blame Dagul.
Listen, mate. I'm a man of my word, and I take ownership of my errors. And I'm fully. It's like this is going to be related. I have no use football, but it's not about football. When England got to in Russia, when England got to the semi-finals.
Yeah,
I was really, really toying with the idea that if they beat Croatia, I've got to fly home for the final. I was like, I've got to. But then I got very, very superstitious. I was like, if I fly all the way over to England and we lose, I will blame myself because I get quite superstitious like that. And like I said, when I moved from Canada to England to Canada, a lot of my friends were saying, oh my God, you're going to get so cold in the winter. The winters are so bad. The winters are this. I was like, listen, I know what I'm getting myself into. But one thing I will say is we will have longer, hotter summers than you do.
Yeah.
And every summer since I've been gone, we may have them longer because it does stay really hot for long there. But I was like, we will get the big up, Nick. We will get the bigger summer. Look, he waved so hard it crashed for a minute there.
Deli Alley wave.
Yeah, I know, but you were going like that so quickly that it froze for one bit. I think you were going too fast for the. But yeah, I literally got to the point where this summer you've been having really, really hot summers, and I was like, well, we've had hot summers, so it's fine. But I come back for this time. Even when I was back last year for Ben's wedding, we were having a little bit of a heat wave in June, and then obviously you had the July and August, which was ridiculous. Well, I'm here for all of July, all of August, and July was the wettest, and August hasn't been the best to start off with. So I'm taking full responsibility for this. I take on the responsibility of saying I apologise on England for the crap summer. It's me.
Yeah. There's only one place in the world I've got good luck, Mr. Dagul, and it is the Scotland Yard. So let's not move it to Canada.
Yeah. Well, not just that, actually. It happened when you came out. It also happened when Stell came out. Stell came out in November, late October, early November. No, in November. You came out in October, and the weather was good. It weren't like changing to the winter temperatures for November. I was walking around Stell around downtown Toronto and the Scotland Yard in t-shirts.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of.
Unheard
so you
of.
both were good. Although Stell has been there for one game at the Scotland Yard and lost. You've been two. You're 2 for 2.
I have a good luck charm from the Scotland Yard.
You're 2
Let's
for
see
2.
who else is in the chat. We've got
Ben,
Scott
Ben.
Oliver. Hello, Scott. Hello, Scott.
Big up.
It's
Ben
Bobby
from
K.
Scotland Yard.
I don't know if
Big
you're
up,
around
brother.
today. I don't know if you're at work today, but always welcome. The number one Agan
Big
bar
up,
in the
Agan bar.
world. Nick was saying I was only talking about the Barbie film. That's your
That's the
fault.
press conference that I was talking about, the Barbie film. What are you talking? What else would I be talking about?
Yeah. Effing Nick, absolutely. No football talk, please. Had to leave Stell's. There's a lot to talk about in that world. We got Stew Boy, big up Stew Boy. We got Stew Boy, we got Carl Higgins, purple and gold. We got Aki Amir. I heard the Canadian Prime Minister left his wife, but we don't talk politics in here. So Dave, we don't talk politics. That's rule number one.
Of anything that I would think would be in a comment, it would not be that.
Yeah,
Justin Trudeau being a bad boy. I obviously I'm not at home, so I don't know. But what I do know is it's less than 2 months till I am home.
Absolutely, full balls in the house. That aren't the bloke
Big
that
up, full ball.
ask the best question.
Yeah, I was about to say the king of Ask Us Anything is in the house. The king.
Through, get it? But Nick, seeing as you're here, what's your favourite holiday, sir?
Oh, I've kind of got many because I've got many names.
Make your mind up, Nick. That's one holiday.
I've got many names, so I will choose many holidays. For
Gary's favourite holiday.
For my actual name, it has to be the Maldives because that was my honeymoon. For Barry, because he's a little bit mischievous, it's Barbados for cricket tour because that was kind of a bit crazy. And for for any other name you can choose, there's plenty of names. I would say I enjoyed going to South Africa.
Okay.
So yeah, and off to New York in less than 4 weeks. So hopefully, in between sightseeing, I can maybe go and watch a game of soccer. I will call it because that's not using the F word, and get away. I was trying to get away with not saying it and meeting the guys over in New York to maybe spend some time with them, but I don't think I'm going to get away with doing that. I got away with it on my honeymoon, but I'm not going to get away with it because we're only there for 3 nights, 4 days. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get away with it. Good
stuff. It's just that holidays are great though. Well, what would you say is your favourite holiday ever, Mr. Dagul? It's a really hard one.
It is. There's a kind. Look, I would say one of them was coming back home after COVID, and seeing my nephews and my niece for the first time in 2 years. I mean that you can't beat. First time I went to Israel on Birthright Tour, I made so many friends and went to Israel for the first time. It was incredible.
Yeah.
If it's for resilience, it would have to be when I first moved to Canada and I went for a very good friend of mine's in Canada, stag do in Vegas.
Yeah.
and try going to a stag do in Vegas when you're a recovering alcoholic married ex-cocaine addict. Talk about test of strength. That was something. And I vowed never ever to go to Vegas in my life again unless I'm with Alana. But no, I think my dream holiday has always been, and I have to do, is Mauritius.
Yeah.
But next year, please God, Ilana and I celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary, and we've said, financially permitting, we're going to go back to Israel. We're going to spend a week in Eilat and a week in the hostel where we met, but in a private room, obviously, and just do all the things we did when we met, and visit Jerusalem, where in Jerusalem I was in a bar one night getting drunk, and out of the blue she just appeared, and she wasn't even in television. We just kept bumping into each other at random places. So I think my best holidays are yet to come.
Yeah. I do love let's see what everyone in the chat. We got Chris is saying Istanbul. I mean, I bet that's crazy. It's not like Barry's Istanbul holiday that went horribly wrong that we didn't go on eventually.
Yeah. That just reminds me, how stupid of me. Nick mentioned his honeymoon. I have to mention, I can't believe I didn't mention it, thank God she's not watching, the holiday where I went to Canada for the first time to get married. Was my favourite holiday. Let me just get that one in. Thank God I remembered that. Thank God she's not watching, in case I'd be in a lot of trouble right now.
Bobby K saying the best trip for me ever was taking my boys to the North London Derby. That was a great day. That was a wonderful, wonderful day. I mean, that was great. That was
well, Ben, you'll know as well, because obviously, what was incredible is everyone knows how close I am with that family of Mr. Bobby Kane, his kids and everything. I am extremely close with them. But having only ever seen them in Canada is like, when I get back, I can't wait to see them all, give them big hugs and spend some time with them. Like what we're going to experience very soon with Brian Ireland.
Yeah.
Seeing Brian Ireland, seeing him in Canada, and obviously me spending a hell of a lot of time with him in Canada, and then seeing him on home soil is just surreal, and it makes it extra special.
It'd be nice to actually, because I didn't only got to spend like a couple of hours with Mr. Ireland, because I had to go with Alex, because I was with Alex. I wasn't really there to, as much as I wanted to do. Alex was my priority whilst I was out there, because I hadn't seen him for months and months.
Yep.
But it was great to see him. So it's going to be weird to firstly see him again, but have a lot of time with him instead of just seeing him on a screen. But and just have a laugh, just have a good time. It's going to be great. We're going to get a curry, hopefully.
For sure.
That is necessary. That is totally necessary.
It's kind of initiation, isn't it? You've got to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Chris is saying, I would have mentioned my honeymoon, but sadly I had to take my ex to Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. Interesting.
Did you see the other comment from Chris? Putting a married woman down in a pint, cocktail after several buds, and snogging a barmaid. Well, Chris is like a lad.
This is why he's the #1 Agon bar in the world, apparently.
Chris, I will never say anything about you being the second Agon bar in the world after seeing that comment. What a lad.
Top man.
What a lad.
What a player. What a player.
What a player.
Yeah. If I didn't meet you, the trip would have been a complete waste of time. Absolutely. It was all because he saw Stuart. Big up, Stuart. Hello, three wonderful lads. I love Sicily and Kefalonia, but I had to choose Kefalonia. It's so unsport and a truly stunning. I want to go to, I think Kefalonia is Greece, right? From what I remember. Yeah. Where
are you going on holiday, Ben, by the way, next week?
So I am next week in the Isle of Wight with my family and my brother's in-laws. And then I'm going to be spending 5 days in Sardinia with my Italian family. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time with a family that's done a lot. The reason this exists is because of that family, because they're the reason I do Kauffie, and I've got the absolute time to do this. So it's going to be great to spend a lot of time with them. I haven't been to Sardinia since 2003, and it's a beautiful place. Proper food. I forget the shit and the swimming pools and the drinking. I want to go somewhere that makes good food. Good food is the best part about a holiday. You sit like Tel Aviv Beach is not Tel Aviv Beach. You're out sitting and looking at the sea with a schnitzel and chips It's just like I'm in heaven. It's the food. You got to go places for good food. You can't go to good places and have terrible food.
Mate, I used to spend my life in Mike's bar opposite or next to the US Embassy.
Oh yeah.
I used to spend so, mate. My drinking in Israel was like beyond. It was so cheap, and the English pound back then was so strong. And then straight over to the beach. It was like my hostel where I met Ilana was around the corner.
Yeah.
So my day was leave there, go to the beach, go back to Mike's bar, get smashed and have something to eat, go back to the beach, go back to, mate, wicked days on that beach, the best beach.
I have really bad memories of Mike's bar because the first ever time I went to one, I went to one of them in Tel Aviv. It wasn't the one by the beach, it was another one because of course Mike's bar is a chain. But it was the game when Bentner scored the goal after coming on, and like that was my first game in a Mike's bar. And that was
mate, I tell you what, the bar we had in Eilat, the Underground, which was a great pub full of expats and a lot of Spurs fans. I was in there off my face for the game for Lasagna Gate, and obviously we lost to West Ham. And who scored the winning goal? Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah.
So all the goddamn Israelis were going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
We just, it weren't pretty.
Yeah. So I don't have good luck in a Mike's bar. I don't have good luck there.
Don't go to a Mike's bar. Get Ben to the Scotland Yard every single day.
Ever in a silence.
Every game, fly Ben out, fly him back. Tottenham go unbeaten. We win the league. Sorted.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If we get to a final and Ben can't get a ticket, we're gonna have to start a GoFundMe to get into the Scotland Yard because then it's sorted.
I wouldn't do that anyway because I love Canada. And our honeymoon was Torquay. We thought we were going to Turkey.
The English Riviera.
The English Riviera, Sulcombe.
Torquay.
Yeah, whenever you hear Torquay, you can only think of one thing.
40 Towers.
Correct.
Yeah. That is Torquay, miss. What do you want to see? Herds of wildebeest going, the hanging
Sydney Opera House. It's the Sydney Opera House, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, herds of wildebeest sweeping majestically. That scene in that room is my favourite scene in 40 Towers, period.
It's so brilliant.
Better than the Germans, better than that scene is just brilliant.
Oh, the Germans one is brilliant now. You started it. No, you did. Well, you invaded Poland.
But you know what? My favourite scene in that episode isn't even that. It's when Sybil keeps phoning up saying, "Are you putting the picture up?" Yeah. And he's like, "I'm doing it. I had to stop what I was doing to come and talk to you to tell me to do what I was." That scene, that I mean, don't get me wrong. The Germans, the walk will always be forever remembered. But for me, Mrs. Richards and that episode is the best episode.
So funny. What's your favourite 40 Towers moment, Bazza?
There's so many. It's just like that, and it's like asking you to choose what's your favourite Only Fools and Horses episode.
Oh no, that's easy for me. Me and Brian were. For me, it's when he's trying to tell Uncle Albert, Rodney's trying to tell that he's got a girlfriend, and he's just gone, and he's like, no, not now.
There's so many.
And then the one time, a girlfriend? Oh.
Yeah, there's also the scene where he wets himself talking about his bad dream and he came face to face with a lion.
Yeah.
And he goes, I did a silly thing, I wet myself. He goes, well, so would anyone when you come face to face with a lion. He said, no, not now. Then now, when I went, oh! They are, listen, Only Fools and Horses, like I said, for me, to use the words of Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Nothing will ever top Only Fools and Horses for not only for me, best British comedy, but best comedy, period.
That's a brilliant scene when he's hitting his Riley L for the tree.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, there's also the episode, when the psychiatrists are in.
Yeah, the psychiatrist.
And that's even before we even mentioned Lord Melbury.
Yeah.
Lord Mel. Like Nick
Lord
said, there are just
Mulberry.
so
The
many.
Waldorf salad is amazing.
Oh, mate, I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch them now. I love that show. I love that show.
It's brilliant. Absolutely. I've never actually asked you this, Barry. What's your favourite comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I love Only Fools and Horses. Gavin and Stacey.
Gavin and Stacey's good. In-Betweeners.
In between it. Oh, mate, there's so many. I also, it's not really a comedy, but it kind of is Afterlife with Ricky Gervais.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely yeah.
So that's good as well. The bit when he's walking past the kid in the playground.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to say what he says, but that line just like that is just brilliant.
The best scene is when he's at the bar and the flap is lifted and he thought, when he fell through the hole. That is still, every time you watch that, it's funny. And how he gets up and he's trying to, he just cracked him our star, Rodney.
Do you know what? This is the thing. That for me is a comedy genius. But what I always remember with this now, and it just goes to show, and I know Bobby K's in the chat, so that Bobby K will find. So Ilana, her sense of humor is very different. She finds things funny, blah blah blah. She likes some English shows, but when I can't sleep or if it's on TV, I'll always watch Only Fools and Horses. She's like, "Why do you find this program so funny?" So right, I'm going to put one episode for you. Just sit down and watch it. And literally, that moment came up, and I'm pissing myself before it happens. You know it's coming, but you still can't help yourself. It happened. I looked at Ilana. It was like she was just watching like a drama.
Yeah.
Not even a smirk. I was like, "How are you not laughing?" She goes, "Is that really funny?" I was like, "You don't find that funny?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Well,
it's because it's the Stephen Fry thing. It's the Stephen Fry thing where he says in North America, they are very much like slapstick. The guy the show is centered around always has to end up on top. It's like they always have to be smart talking. It's like the Barney Stinson thing always ends up on top. Whereas in Great Britain, it's the person that the show centers around has to be an abject failure. He's got to be an utterly miserable human being. So it's Basil Fawlty, it's
Victor Meldrew,
it's Victor Meldrew, it's Del Boy, it's Captain Mannering, like all the best comedy shows. It's what's it called? Citizen Khan. I can't remember. Mr. Khan in Citizen Khan. They always have to be an abject failure, and we love that because we always love the underdog in Britain. Whereas in American comedies, they always have to be like the last laugh. It's like that Patrick Warburton's really good at that in the show he was in. That I can't remember what it was called, but that was a good show. Or Friends, Joey Tribbiani would always end up being that. That's just their comedy in America. I don't understand it because laughing at failure is more funny than laughing at success. Success isn't funny.
Yep.
We'd laugh it off. Stuart saying Only Fools is my favourite comedy too. Only Fools, Batman, and that was very fun. That's very funny. That's just so.
Yeah. The greatest thing about that, the build up to that, and that was one of the Christmases that it was the first Christmas that they came back. It was a build up to the trilogy of when they were leaving. It was the second one, and obviously the whole nation was gripped because it was the final three, and then something silly is going to happen. But when you saw that and the way, you got Batman and Robin running through the alley, but you got to remember the way they played up to that with the three-wheel van breaking down. Yeah. And you see Del Boy get out and you see the boots and then the writing and the way they deliver it. And it does not matter. By Dragon these scenes, it doesn't matter if you've seen it once or 1,000 times.
It's still funny.
You will laugh. I'm laughing before it happens because I know what's bad. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. I'm laughing before, I'm laughing during, and I'm laughing after just as much as I was the very, very first time.
The chandelier, the chandelier.
Oh.
Bobby Kay
Oh,
saying
they're
Little
great
Britain is. I don't think Little Britain is. I think it's funny.
Little Britain is funny, Ben, but you could not get away with it now.
No, you can't get away with it.
Do you know what? I've not watched one episode of Little Britain. It just didn't.
And you can't anymore because it's not on any TV programs.
I just didn't. I tried to watch one episode. I was just like, yeah, not my cup of tea. I mean, I understand people that said it was. I can understand the success it was.
Shock factor. It's shock factor. Like Phone Jacker and Face Jacker are hysterical.
Yeah.
Like what is it? The Brian Madondi scene when he's in a whiskey shop and he's saying Bindi and Bisky, and then the poor guy is trying to say no Indian, no Bindi and Bisky. It's like he's so deadpan, like Bindi and Bisky. Or that Myra's drive-through when he's selling fish and chips to people and he's pretending that the machine has has malfunctioned. It's funny because he's being funny, but then you look at all the people that go into this fake fish and chip shop. They're all like so kind. They're like, oh, okay, we're just going to be patient.
Yep,
it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. I used to like Just Good Friends, another Sullivan series. Vince and Paul Nicholas was a Spurs supporter. WTF, Brian? Are you Canadian or something?
Well, when I get back, the first thing I do is sort out my citizenship, and I cannot wait to be able to say, yes, I am Canadian.
Yeah. We got Mr. Perch is in the house. Afternoon, Perchy Perch. Hopefully you're well. I don't know if you're still working, but if you want the link, I will ping you the link. Bobby's saying, hey, Perchy. That's Mind Your Language and Love Thy Neighbour. Those couldn't be done now as well.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I've also watched as well some of the two Ronnie scenes, and some of the things the two Ronnies did, you're not getting away with. There's one where Ronnie Corbett plays where he goes to a supermarket, but he's pretending to be a Arab.
Yeah.
And he has his shopping list and his language. He can't get and he's mispronouncing words, and it's hysterical, but you will not get away with it now. You cannot do it. But the two Ronnies were geniuses. The two Ronnies were goddamn geniuses.
Yeah. So funny. It's even if it's a good night for me and it's a good night from him.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? The one I loved as well is when they did Mastermind.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Corbett's specialist skill was answering the question, giving the answer from the question before.
Yeah.
And the way they wrote that was just hysterical.
Yeah. Also, when they're selling the watch at Sotheby's, Delpit faints. And yeah. That's brilliant. They should never have tried. They should never have taken the money away from them. I think that's the one thing everyone in Britain agrees with. They should never have taken the money away from them.
But you got to remember, they end it the next when they came back that they get Uncle Albert's money back, so they kind of do get it back, but not to the extreme. Yeah. But to watch the very, very final when they thought it was the final before they came back with popular demand, when Del Boy just says this time next year we could be billionaires, is just, again, Dan Sullivan at his very, very finest.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about it, another one that's just come to mind is the one with the butterfly.
Yeah.
And then Denzel just gives them the high five.
Yeah.
And then he starts trying to sell the doors. They are just brilliant. Every time they're just that close to getting there, and it's like, nope.
Yeah. Bobby's saying all of those 80s sitcoms would not be on it. I think if Only Fools and Horses was made like that, now it would still be the best show on the telly.
Yeah.
That is a timeless comedy. There's nothing offensive about Only Fools and Horses. There might be little things, but that show that was pitch perfect. Dad's Army, if they made Dad's Army now, these are 60s, not really 70s or 80s. It's really a lot of them, the stuff we love, would actually do well. But I think a lot of the newer stuff is when they started to do Little Britain, Come Fly With Me. That's when they started to try and push the boundary. So I think a lot of the 80s sitcoms would be just fine. It's only really like Father Ted wouldn't get away.
Oh, what a show that was! What
I
a
heard
show
you're
that
a racist
was.
now, Father.
Oh, that show. Do you know what? One that I'm trying to find it to watch anywhere, and I loved it, but it was so stupid. It was funny. Was My Hero.
Yeah.
I loved that show. My Hero was hysterical with the guy from Father Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. The dog pills are that, mate. That's another classic.
Oh, it's so meta. I think that's why you. As much as Only Fools is not my favorite, but I so understand why it is so many people's favorites in terms of the amount of iconic moments, the amount of them. It's not like Friends has about 4 or 5 iconic moments, but they had like 9 seasons. In every season of Only Fools, in every episode, there's an iconic part. There is always that.
Look at this.
Hey, another one when he paints the
I know it's not football.
Sorry, Dave, when he paints the Chinese restaurant luminous yellow. That one is hysterical as well. Sorry, Nick.
I was just saying, I know we don't want to talk about the F word, but how nice is this? The last time we played well.
Big up, Jan. Big up, Jan.
Super Jan.
I love the 2 Ronnies. What they did before Camel Scene gets me every time. Love the 2 Ronnies. Harry Enfield doesn't get spoken of. Some we like to watch my family. What's it called? The slobs when they become millionaires when they win the lottery, and he falls off the chair. And just what?
Harry Enfield had some. Harry Enfield was a genius, or is.
Oh, that's the guy that the Birmingham guy. I'm sincerely richer than Yao, and then when he becomes a millionaire, it's like, now we're sincerely richer than you. Oh, that's brilliant. 13 million quid. Open all hours, yeah. When they brought that back, it was good as well. So it's proof you can bring back old comedies.
Yeah, but that also proves that also you put David Jason in anything,
and he's
do
funny.
well.
Yeah.
Anything you put David Jason in, it does well. It's anything.
When they show old comedies now, they have a banner at the top saying this was the attitude of it.
Yeah.
But they know it's not. It's amazing. I love Harry Enfield, Wayne and Waynetta, and his teenage Kevin. I love Kevin. Who is your favourite characters from Harry Enfield? For me, it is Wayne and Waynetta. I think that they are hysterical.
Do you know what? It's hard, mate. You got to remember the 2 babies. Look up to Harry. That was brilliant. You also had Tim Nice but Dim.
Yeah, Tim Nice but Dim
was hysterical. Then you had mate. Oh, mate. If we're gonna keep, you remember when Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse and Harry Enfield played the John Motson role? God bless John Motson.
Yeah.
And he had Paul Whitehouse being the Colombian who couldn't speak. He'd signed for Newcastle and he couldn't speak any English. Yeah. And the more and more they did it, the more Geordie he became. Yeah. That was Harry Enfield had some incredible. When him and Paul Whitehouse played the Fishmongers.
Yeah.
They're mate. They were all, even Mr. Chumley Warner, for God's sake, mate.
Yeah. It was Julio Giordio.
That was good.
That's it. And do you know what? The seasons it's actually on Netflix. So I've been rewatching.
Yeah.
Harry.
Sophie's in the house. Afternoon, you lovely people.
My name is Michael Payne.
Oh, mate. And I'm a nosy neighbour. Now.
Yeah. Tory boy as well.
Tory boy, yeah. But I think my favourite Harry and Paul moment is when they're the plumbers and they go into the house. So there's like, oh, why is this tap? Look outside, and he's wearing his Jurgen Klinsmann shirt, and he's like, right, and he hits it as hard as he can, and all the tiles come off. Came off in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty much. You got to remember they also had the the horse racer ones,
Yeah.
the camp horse racers. They were his mate. Harry Enfield is very, very underrated.
Yeah, he is.
And also, you got to remember they redid the kind of Four Candles kind of scene with Harry Enfield and Ronnie Corbett with the BlackBerry and the iPhone and the Apple, and that was again brilliant.
I don't know who this guy telling totally to piss off is. Reggie Perrin. Reggie Perrin's good as well. Oh, you've seen what's it called when Harry and Paul did Dragon's Den with Alan Sugar on it.
Yeah,
I'm better than you. I'm out. You're fired. So you can't fire us. I don't like you. You're Scottish. You're fired.
mate. Do you know another comedy that's just came to my head all of a sudden, and I used to. Do you remember that comedy show on Channel 4 called Desmond's?
Yeah.
Desmond's was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
What about Eurotrash? That was comical.
Yeah.
What was it?
Eurotrash.
I remember that show very well.
The Kitten Stomper. The Kitten Stomper.
Eurotrash was just goddamn crazy.
Your offer of £500,000 for 2% is wide off the mark. I will give you £500,000 for 3% of your company. Nah, I think we can do better. They called Deborah Meaden the miserable, the angry woman.
Oh, mate, do you know what? Honestly, talking about, I love Dragon's Den. I love it. They've got one. They've got one over in America called Shark Tank, which is
and it's awful.
it's not too bad. The rules are different, but the same premise. But Deborah Meaden does my head in.
Oh, is she
I
on
can't
that?
honestly. No. But she's on Dragon's Den, and I watch Dragon's Den religiously. And she just honestly, she does my head in. I honestly. She should be called Deborah. I'm out, Meaden.
That's one for everyone in the chat as well. Who is your favourite dragon? Is it Theophipithes? I think he's brilliant. Is it Peter Jones, otherwise known as John Lewis?
John Lewis.
Is it Duncan?
I love Pete Jones. I love Theo, but my favourite, and it's because I've got to find her now. I don't know why. I love the Geordie that's on it now. Love her. Love her. But what's her name? Dragon's Den. What was her name?
Absolutely fabulous. Great show. Great stuff. Alan Partridge. Alan Partridge is great. I think my Duncan Bannatyne is brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant.
I loved, what's her goddamn name? I've got to find it now. Where is she? There's a woman, I have such a TV crush on this woman, and I'm trying to find her name. What was her name?
I know.
Let's find out.
She was in Strictly Come Dancing as well. Not I watched it.
Yeah, I don't. Mate, I watch it. I don't mind it, mate. Ilana loves Strictly Dancing with the Stars. What is her name?
Stuart727. You don't know what Eurotrash is? Oh my god! Just put it in YouTube and you'll see. Lola Ferrari.
Friday Night Dinner is one of my. Friday Night Dinner is excellent. R.I.P. to the dad in that. He passed away recently. The dad in Friday Night Dinner, from what I can remember. That's a brilliant show. Derek, another Ricky Gervais show. Yeah, Derek, brilliant. An Idiot Abroad is hysterical as well. I love An Idiot Abroad. I think that is brilliant. My favourite dragon is at the other end of the room to me. Uh-oh.
I've got to find out.
He's really looking at it. Dagul's really.
It's really pissing me off. It really, really pissing me off. Sarah Willingham.
Okay.
Sarah Willingham. I had an mate. My God. Yeah.
If I
went on Dragon's Den and I had great offers for everything I offered, everything I wanted, and I got what I wanted. Like, let's say 75 grand for 10%, and they all gave it to me. And then she came in and said, I want it for 25%. Sold.
Yeah.
Sold. I'll take the 25. Sarah Willingham,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Sorry for all the women I may be offending, but yeah.
And anyway, the coffee company, Dagul, it's got excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate.
Those are not the views of the coffee company in general.
Yeah.
If Sarah Willingham wants to invest in my company, she can sod off.
Yeah, no, I do. I didn't mean to objectify women in that way. I just.
So not only has Brian forgotten about his favourite holiday being his honeymoon, he's cracking on with one of the dragons. Good job,
She was on before I got married, so it's allowed.
Oh, okay, it's allowed, yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, it's like Ross with Friends with the 5 people you can't get mad with. Listen,
Yeah.
Ilana looks at, and Ilana tells me about actors. It's common law. Nothing's ever going to happen. I just had a huge crush on that woman.
Taskmaster.
It was hysterical.
Oh, I'm trying to. I think we should go for North. We should talk about. I like American comedies, but they're just not the same, is it?
No, the Office version of in America is not the same as the Office version over here.
Yeah,
you know,
I've not seen that. I've not seen that.
Honestly, the UK version is so funny.
It's brilliant. It's really cringe as well.
You got to remember, America have some like comedies that come to my mind that isn't Friends. You got Cheers, which is an all-time classic.
Yeah.
Roseanne, the original, not when they came back. Classic. I have to say, one of my favourite comedies of all time, and it's just because it's brilliant. Is Frasier. Frasier is absolutely comedic genius.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, sort of the recent one, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is quite funny. And
How I Met Your Mother's really good, but it's really funny.
Superstore's quite good as well.
Yeah. Taxi was funny. Taxi.
I think Frasier is better than Friends. I think Frasier is genius.
I disagree. I think Curb Your Enthusiasm, I think, is the funniest though.
Will and Grace, that was quite good.
Yeah. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is so brilliant. There are certain things in that show which are just hysterical.
The question on everyone's lips: Is it gonna not rain for me to be able to cut the last portion of grass? I could have gone out. I could have gone out before you said Ben come. Before Ben said come on, I could have gone out. I could have finished the lawn, and now the clouds are looking a little bit grey. And
it's going to rain.
I've missed my opportunity because tomorrow I've got to sort the car out. Saturday I'm playing cricket, and then it's going to rain again. So it's going to be like I'm not going to get an opportunity, and I'm very
tomorrow, Nick.
Nick, I have to say, you've made it sound like you've got like 15 acres of land when you say the last section of the lawn.
Basically, I've got an electric lawnmower and the battery's screwed, so it only allows me to do half of it. It's probably the size of. Let's compare. It's probably the size of like an American football field. No, it's the size of Ben's coffee shop from front to back.
Are we including the patio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
the
bad.
Front garden. I've cut the back garden. That's fine. That's done.
But what about width?
It's probably, I'd say maybe double the size of Ben's patio, like across. So if you put 2 of Ben's patios across.
Okay.
So it's not big, but the battery's literally like screwed. So it only cuts for like half. And then I'm like, when it's like it is now, I can't do it. If it's obviously like short, it's fine. I can get it. I can like rush and just get it all done. So it's all done. But because it takes a little bit of time, it has to have 2 charges on the battery. I do not live in a massive. The garden is not like the size of the training ground or whatever you say.
Well, remember, as you were saying, I remember when we were on here and you were talking about all the ice cream vans, what they do, and the drive-by pizza and all that nonsense. So who knows the area you live in? It could be huge garden.
It's Thursday. It's fish and chip van tonight. Yesterday was pizza. Today is fish and chip van. The ice cream van hasn't been round, which is perfect because the kids are on holiday and they always go, "Can I have an ice cream?" It's like, "No, sorry, got no money." And they're like, "Yeah, but we know he'll let you off until you get some." I'm like, no. Not happening.
Yeah.
Andrew Gregory, sunshine and showers. Some might be heavy at times. I know, Andrew. I know. I'm looking at it now. I reckon I'm probably going to be all right. 3 o'clock, 16% of that hour is a chance of rain. I reckon I've got 10 minutes and I will have it done.
Was that 16% or 60%?
Yeah.
16.
Oh God, you've got to roll with that, mate. You've got to roll with that.
So I'll be fine. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get out there. 10 minutes. Oh, sun's come out now.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
He heard.
So
he's heard.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. There's going to be thunderstorms.
Oh.
Friday, it's looking a bit dodgy. Saturday, there's absolutely no way that I'm playing cricket on Saturday. So if it's going to rain in the morning, because I don't want to have to drive there, start, come off, wait around for a couple of hours, go on, go off. Just absolutely hammer it down all morning. Then I can relax and sleep. And then Sunday, yeah, like you said, Ben, it's going to be all right. Chance of a shower at 1 o'clock, but Sunday's going to be fine. So,
should we do a segment on this show, Weather with Barry?
Weather with Barry. Tell us where you live, and Barry will comment on the next 24
hours. The weather's going to be shit here, lads. It's going to be.
Yeah, I think you've got to do it on your.
It's going to be toilet.
I think you've got to do it on your phone though. So you know, like back in Good Morning Britain, when that guy used to do it jumping over. They had the UK in the river, and he jumped over.
Jumping over.
I think you've got to do it from outside in different locations. Just log in with your phone. I'd be like I've never understood when there's like tornadoes and full-blown storms in America and Canada. They actually say to the guy, "Yeah, go stand outside," rather than stay indoors and say, "Listen, it's raining, it's pouring down." They're like, "No, go stand outside in it." And show us what it's like. I think that's what you got to do, Nick. I think that's what you got to do on location.
Or you can get a green screen and say, "This is what you do." Is you get a really bad hurricane, and then you pretend it's like Loughton. This is the way.
Ben, you know what? I'll make a commitment to you. Me and Nick can do it together. When I'm back in Toronto, we can do it during the winter, and I'll step out and show you how deep the snow is. Yeah. Or I'll chuck a boiling kettle of water in the air and you'll see it evaporate.
Yeah.
I will commit, and I'm sure Bobby will as well on the days that he's available. We'll commit to doing an outside weather report in Toronto and just show you how bad the winter gets. There is a commitment from me to you.
Absolutely. So looks like we're going to have to get Brian a green screen.
No green screen needed. No, I'll stand out in the sun.
Dagul's disaster weather. Disastrous weather with Dagul. DWD.
And I'll just say, listen, today in Canada, shock horror, it's cold.
Yeah. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, mate, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's see where he is. Yes, it's England. It's raining.
Yeah, but I'll be shivering. I'll be going like back in this, and then my hand will just freeze.
Yeah. Hell no. Leave me out of that. I don't like going outside in winter.
Mate, you know what, Bobby? I said it to Brian Ireland yesterday when I was backstage with Ben before we recorded yesterday. I've missed 2 winters. Obviously, this winter I'm here, and last winter I'm not going to go into why I was here. We all know, but the guy's a prick. So I've missed 2 winters. I'm actually looking forward to having a cold night and stepping out. I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't know why, because I hate it. But I'm actually looking forward to getting out in the yard, going to the yard on a 7 o'clock kickoff and having to put my winter boots on and leave at 6 in the morning to get to the yard, and it's minus 20 degrees before the wind chill. Big up, brother. I'm actually seriously looking forward to it.
I love the cold. I really, really like the cold.
Yeah, come over in February, Ben. Come over in
What is
February.
wrong with
I
you?
go skiing,
I
Brian.
like it. I
That's
like
true,
it cold,
that's true.
but with the sun out. When it's cold and it's raining and it's horrible, no.
Yeah.
When it's
Oh,
Oh,
Nick,
that's
when
different
it's
though.
out,
Cold
nice.
and rainy is different from cold and snowing.
Nick, I'll tell you another thing as well. When I've been in Toronto, I am absolutely blown away that it could be as cold as it is. So the sun is brighter than you see it here.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
quite close to us. It's like the sun is so bright, and it's set where it's positioned is a little closer than when we see it here. And I'm just like, how the fuck is it like this?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
When
know
that
what
sun-
the sun is, Brian, because
So
since you've been here, I haven't seen it.
I mean, when I go, if I ever go skiing, sometimes I forget to put sun cream on because I'm an idiot. I come back and I've got sunburn, and everyone's like, "Didn't you go skiing?" I was like, "Yeah." You get sunburn because the sun is so like intensely bright, but it's
Yep.
freezing cold. It does you in. You've got to have sun cream on, but then you have a million layers. It's not fun.
That's
Exactly.
not for me. Skiing is not for me.
Skiing's great, Bazzy. You'd love it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd break my legs or something stupid. That's what I'd do.
Well, you've got to go to an easy resort. I mean, when I was in Maribel, it was the worst time of the year. It's like just as the season was about to end, and the run off to the main town. It was like so steep, and it was just all covered in ice. I was just like, I am not skiing down there. And my brother's like, don't be a wimp. They just don't do that. Don't be an ass. And then I saw someone who was quite clearly good just go boom, bang, and just crash. I was like, yep, I am not doing that. I do not care. I am getting a taxi. I'm going to spend €90 because all the taxis in France are €90. I am getting a taxi because I am not breaking a leg. Not doing it.
Understandable.
Not doing it. Brian, that's the worst. Sunny and minus. I love that. I really like that.
It's so weird. There's a few things like it freaks me out in Canada, and I don't know why. Well, I know why it freaks me out, but when I hear them say during the winter, so the weather in Toronto today, the high is -20. I'm like, how does the high -20 even make sense? I understand, but I'm like, how can you say the high and then say minus? And when I first moved to Canada, Ilana went back first, and she's like, "Hey, baby, just let you know, I've got your winter boots. Here they are. Ordered them from wherever she ordered them. I can't remember." But the headline of this winter shoe or winter boot was "water and chill resistant to -40 degrees."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell am I walking?" Like, I knew it got cold, but then when you see it, it's just like it's insane.
Yeah, Laura was like, "Oh, I want to go to Canada when the snow's there," and I was like, "I don't." No thanks.
Yeah,
that was the best time to go. The best time to go is October when the leaves are all starting to fall. And that is the best time to go. One of the things I'm quite good with timing is my holidays, and that was the best time to go. So I got to go with Bobby into the forest and see all like the trees and things.
Bobby took you into the forest. We don't need to know where this is going, Ben.
Shut up, Barry. Your mind's in the dirt.
Well, you know what? A lot of that happens as well. Go on, Nick.
No, I was saying unless you're going into the forest to find a lake to catch catfish. That's the only other time.
We were chucking in Big K because of his dire fantasy.
Well, you know, you were saying with the winter, Ben, there's a lot of people that love coming in the spring when the cherry blossoms, and there's a specific place called High Park where the trees just and everyone goes to see the cherry blossoms. I think Bobby will correct me. I don't know if it's late, if it's April or early May where it happens,
March,
but
mid-March-ish.
No, I don't think it's as early, mate. Nick, Bobby will say you might be right. You might be right. Yeah. We'll see what Bobby says.
A massive happy birthday to Mr. Ian Barron. Hello, happy
birthday,
birthday. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for liking the stream as always, and enjoy your birthday. Don't get too silly.
Exactly. You're looking remarkable for your age if that's your picture as well. For 49, my man, you are looking very good if that's your picture.
Bobby's laughing. Yeah, but basically what we did was we tied Big K to a tree and just left him there because we don't like Eric Dyer. Little K said his goodbyes. The problem is he turned up later.
That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad idea, but it was a good one. But yeah, Canada, you've got to go in October, late
Early
September,
April.
October.
Probably just started the cherry blossoms early April.
Yeah, early April.
Cheers, Bobby brother.
One of the things I've always wanted to do is go to Japan for the cherry blossoms because that is like because it's the entire country. It's one of my dreams. That is. Maybe one day. We got to go on a skiing trip, but no one skis. Only me and Perchy ski, I think.
Yeah, skiing's not my bag.
Spurs community skiing trip.
Mate, I'd go and hang out in like one of the wicked the lodges and the place where you all go. I mean, obviously there's big hotel chains like you're having resorts in the Caribbean or all over the hot countries. I'd love to go to like one of those log cabin places and just chill there and do next to nothing. You ain't getting me skiing though, that's for damn sure.
I swear Ian says it's his birthday every day in streams. He's never said it in this one. Savvy's saying, I love the month of April.
I thought you'd hate the month of April. Iggy loves the month of April, but I don't know whether Sophie loves it.
What about surfing and swimming with sharks? No, thank you. No, thank you. Like whenever I talk with my friends from Australia about going in the summer, which is again in December, which makes no sense. Make your mind up, Australia. Make your mind up. But they're like, oh, it's all right when it's 40 degrees centigrade because the sea's there and you can get in the sea. There are great white sharks in there. I am not. There are massive rays that can kill you instantly and spiders, and I'm not going.
When I was in the Maldives and I went snorkeling, right?
Yeah.
I went away from where our villa was and everything else.
Yeah.
And then of course you just suddenly realise. All of a sudden I realised where I was, like in the middle of the like ocean, and then I'm like, and then I kicked with the flippers, and I forgot I had the flippers on, and I kicked myself, and I thought it was something trying to get me. So I'm like around like that, and I'm like, oh, sod this, and I'm literally like getting back, and they're like, are you all right? And it's like, yeah, I kind of scared myself.
Yeah. If I was in Australia, I would not go anywhere near the sea. But nope, just no. And then they've got those enormous huntsman spiders, which are supposed to be really good because they kill all the really dangerous ones. But people say they wake up and they've got this enormous spider on the pillow. But no, thank you. No. I'm not scared of spiders, but no.
Snakes, shark, everything on. There's things on land and things on sea that can kill you. That doesn't excite me of a place to go on holiday.
Yeah, we've got puff adders here in this country, but you never see one.
No,
you never see one. Standing on the sidelines on a Sunday morning watching football in the winter is not the one. Football mum, we do things for our kids.
Yeah, the football mums, by the way, they also moan a lot on the sidelines. They're like, oh, it's so cold. It's like, oh, I'm going to go and get a coffee. Oh, no, if I go and get coffee, I'll have to go and help on the coffee stand. And it's like, they just moan, the football mums. Not saying you moan, Sophie. I'm just saying in general.
You can pet kangaroos, koalas, and what? Have you ever seen those kangaroos? They're hench.
Mate,
they beat you up.
They're punching you.
Yeah, they'll punch you. I'm not going anywhere near one of those things. I'll beat the hell out of them.
Some of those kangaroos are literally, you see them when they get ready, and you've seen it. If you watch that video that's on YouTube where one of them, their pet dog is going near it, and stands up and he lamps the kangaroo. They are built, and they can mate. They are dangerous animals. Cute, but dangerous.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's the end of our hour, folks. What's going to be happening on TottenhamOnTour this weekend, Brian? Are we going to be doing anything?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm to-ing and fro-ing. We're doing a show tonight, a transfer show with Josh Hughes, who works with the Mail and Sky Sports, and going to be looking into how the press get their transfer. You can't reveal everything, but obviously going on about how it transpires, what goes on, blah blah blah. I am kind of toying with the idea of maybe going live and doing a pop up with it. If not, it'll be pre-recorded and out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And maybe doing a pop up tomorrow, and then obviously we'll do something over the weekend. I'm working with my dad on Saturday.
I'll try to.
So yeah, but hopefully, who knows, Ben? Maybe we'll do a daily dose or a pop up after the protest.
Yeah.
And I'll be doing anger management with the anger management. Will be back in Johnny. And then maybe a pop up the day after. There's more coming back. Consistency is key for us right now. What we're working on, and that's
which is annoying because I'm going on holiday, but I'm going to do my best. I'll do my best.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So we're going to do what we can.
Vlogs. We might even do some vlogs,
mate. Feel free to.
No, continue, Brian. Continue.
No. The one thing I was about to say, the good thing that we're working on as well, I'll let people know, is obviously when I'm back in Toronto with Ireland, and obviously you're here with whether it be Ryan or whoever. Our aim is to do 2 1-hour pods guaranteed a week live. One at a Canadian evening time, which will also benefit people in Australia, blah, 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 blah. And obviously a TottenhamOnTour UK time one with you and whoever, focusing on the European and London in an evening. So when I'm back in Toronto, we should be getting a lot more live shows out, which would be great.
Just make sure you tell Danny now, and he might join next year.
Yeah.
And
Bazza, for 2 weeks.
Oh, I can't be 2 weeks today.
2 weeks until Shelf Science first show is back.
I'm really excited. Can you tell?
Yeah.
2 weeks till Anarchy and Mayhem returns. People, I know you've missed it.
Yeah.
So.
Hide your catfish. And thank you so much for watching today's show, everyone. We will be back in 12 days, I think. I don't know when we're going to be back on the Coffee Company because I'm going away for a bit. But we will try and do some stuff on TottenhamOnTour. I'm going to try and do some vlogs for the show. And we're going to have fun. But thank you all so much for watching. If you smell what the cough is brewing, thank you so much for watching. Take it away, Dagul.
And as always, leave it out.